Welcome to the BCMM Network. The following broadcast is meant solely for the enjoyment and entertainment of our audience. You're watching the Blue Collar Minutemen Show. Pray for the Republic.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Blue Collar Minutemen Show, where we are freezing cold, but our biscuits are
As
warm.
ice.
Cold as ice. Bill, how's it been going?
Oh,
Yeah, I see your ice cubes.
we were out of power for, was it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, part of Wednesday. So,
Jeez.
and let me tell you what, it was butt freezing cold here.
Oh, yeah, I know. I had to work out in it a few nights. It was single digits. But the good thing is everybody stayed inside. Thank goodness. But over here on my neck of the woods, as you know, Senior Master DePredo took care of all of us.
Oh, Tony.
Shouts out to Tony.
Hey, Tony.
But before we get started, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us as always. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe button, share these videos to try to help get the word out. And we're just trying to share information to keep everybody informed. So make sure you hit those buttons. That way, anytime we get a new video in, you'll automatically get notified by it. All right. Let's, of course, Bill, you and I were on a cruise.
Cruising, baby.
We made it back before the storm hit. But there's been a lot going on. And apparently, everybody's up in arms about ICE and the way they did things in Minnesota. And by now, all of you all know about the shootings up there and who was shot, blah, blah, blah. Well, let's give our 2 cents on it. Bill, the woman, let's start with her, who ran over the ICE agent, or as they say, she was just trying to leave.
Well, she should have never been trying to leave when the guy's standing in the window saying, stop, 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 get out of your vehicle. All she had to do was stop, 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 and get out of the vehicle.
You know, I think there's just one simple thing we need to tell the people. If law enforcement is there and you are there, listen to what they tell you. It's not hard.
Don't drive your vehicle in front of theirs trying to block them. I mean, okay, let's back everything up here.
Mm-hmm.
Where have they gotten in their heads that they're allowed to do this?
Well, I'm sure that someone told them they had a right to.
Okay, harassing federal agents while they're trying to conduct their duties is never a smart thing to do. And no, you don't have the right to do that. In fact, I had an argument with the gentleman the other night.
Oh, this ought to be interesting.
Once I proved my point, he blocked me and disappeared. But find in the Constitution where it says you have the right to protest.
Doesn't say that.
It does not say that. It says you have the right to peacefully assemble.
Yes.
And petition the government. Just like with every law, everybody just reads that far and they quit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you continue to read, it says the government, be it city, county, or state, or federal, can limit the time and place for you to assemble.
Oh, nobody reads that part.
You should know that from crowd management training.
Mm-hmm. But nobody reads that part.
Nobody reads on down through there. The government can tell you where you can assemble and when and what time, till what time you can assemble.
Mm-hmm.
That's in the Constitution. So going out at 9 o'clock in the morning and chasing ICE agents all over town is not protesting. That is harassing federal agents while conducting their duties.
And let's get something straight. I've had this conversation with my wife and her daughter. What they're doing, Bill, is they are interfering with lawful actions by law enforcement, is what they're doing. Now, to put this in perspective, they are supposedly stopping the arrest and detainees of these illegals who have warrants for them, lawful warrants. They have committed crimes which they have gotten warrants for. And these people are getting in the way of that. Now, here's the conversation that we have had. This is the same thing. Folks, I want you to put yourself in this scenario. If someone breaks into your house, shoots your husband, rapes your wife, we as law enforcement show up at your door to arrest that person, but then your neighbors and people down the street don't want us to, it's the same thing. It is the same thing. How much sense does that make? None. And then, Bill, to go it on again, let's get this aired out. Because you have a CCDW license does not mean that you can interrupt law enforcement and expect to retain your weapon.
Well, or not get shot.
Or not get shot.
Now,
yeah.
Going along with what you're saying there. Okay. Everybody's like, well, now all the Trump supporters are against the Second Amendment. No. Carry your gun. But when you carry your gun, do it responsibly. Like, okay, if you've taken the CCDW course, you have to have your ID with you, which he didn't have. One. Two, you don't go push a cop. No, you don't do that while carrying a firearm. Unless you plan on getting shot. You push me, your coat flies open, I see a gun, I'm shooting you. Plain and simple.
Yep.
Because you got a gun, I got a gun, I see a gun, somebody hauls a gun. It's okay. I saw an attorney. He actually was a defense attorney. Was on I forget which news station it was. It wasn't Fox, but I forget which news station he was on. But he said it where they may be able to understand. I don't know. But okay, a law enforcement officer doesn't have to have proof that you're pulling a gun to shoot him. He has to have reasonable suspicion that you're pulling the gun to shoot him.
Yep.
What that means, okay, put yourself in this scenario. You're a cop, wrestling the guy to the ground. You hear somebody say, gun, gun, gun. There was a gunshot. They know that. Before the officer pulled his piece and shot, there was a gunshot. They're speculating whether or not that SIG that the dude was carrying misfired or whatever, but there was a gunshot. Somebody's already hollering, gun, gun, gun. That law enforcement officer acted exactly the way he was trained.
Yeah.
He eliminated the threat.
Yes. And
now he had reasonable it was reasonable to him to believe that that's where that shot came from.
Hmm.
So
And
he was justified.
there's case law already in place to back that up.
Yeah, I think he was justified.
Yes, I think he was too. And I just want to mention this because I'm not going to say any names in the conversation, but I had it mentioned to me, it's like, well, why did they have to shoot him 11 times? And I'm like, well, we shoot until the threat is neutralized.
He
That's the
only
way we're
shot
trained.
him twice.
Yeah, I know. But my thing is, we shoot till the threat's neutralized. And in the words of Mr. Grady Judd down in Florida, the only reason we didn't shoot him anymore is we ran out of bullets.
Yeah, I love that guy. I
Shouts
love
out to
that
Grady Judd.
guy. but, but yes, you're absolutely correct. If you're still moving, I'm still shooting.
Yeah.
I mean, till that threat is neutralized. So,
Well, they're
don't assault police officers while carrying a gun.
no,
Don't try to run over them when they're
no,
telling you to get out of the car.
nope. And Bill, just to say this, of course, you know they're wanting to have Christy Nomi fired as head of, yeah. And they sent Tom Homan in now to Minnesota.
Okay, here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
Tom's tough.
I know.
Okay. They're cheering because the commander got sent somewhere else and they sent in Tom Holman. Them poor people up there don't know what they're about to get. Just saying.
Just saying.
Just
By the
saying.
way, I'm drinking water.
Just saying. He's drinking water.
Well, that's what I thought too. Is like of all people, you're cheering for Tom Homan to come up there. Okay, have at it. Oh, but let's move on a little bit. Still in that area, and I think it was in Minnesota, the whole Don Lemon thing of him barging into a church. You know, now everybody's upset. Oh, you shouldn't arrest Don Lemon. He didn't do anything wrong. He was doing his job as a journalist. And my thought and 2 cents on that is no, he was not doing his job as a journalist. He was being an agitator, and I don't care what you say. And he's pushing those buttons, and he's getting hammered by it.
He FA'd and FO'd.
Yes. Now, for those of you all who didn't know, because I know this has been a big subject as well, apparently nobody knew about the FACE Act, which all of that came about way back when. We'll say those Democrats who were running around in white sheets were barging into black churches, and the government had to step in and do something so they could peacefully worship. So that was on the books. Now, before anybody jumps to conclusions and they start saying, well, oh, you know, they're just using this against them because they're liberals, blah, blah, blah. It was brought to my attention, Bill, and you may remember this, that during the Obama administration, there was a peaceful protest of people protesting outside an abortion clinic who were praying, and they were arrested for the FACE Act.
Mm-hmm.
So yep. What's the big difference here? That wasn't even a church. That was an abortion clinic. And the people that were outside were praying.
Just breaking news, they just arrested a anti-ICE leftist who just went berserk inside of a Jewish temple in New York. And looks like they're going to charge him with the FACE Act.
Good. Well, I don't know why people think that that these laws don't pertain to them when they do stuff like this. It blows my mind. And we were talking about it earlier, me and my wife. You know, ignorance of the law is no excuse. Just because you don't know it and we arrest you and you come and say we made that up, no, you just didn't know, and your ignorance of it is no excuse. You still broke the law. Same way with Don Lemonhead.
Yeah, Hillary just weighed in on that. If you're interested in what she had to say,
Oh, please tell me.
she says Republicans are now using Republican extremists are now using religion to divide the country by arresting with the Face Act.
And what did I just say? They did the same thing when Obama was in.
It doesn't matter what they do. It's only bad if we do it.
Oh, what's good for thee, but not for me.
Correct.
Ooh. I had to take a sip of water. Well, like I'm saying, the main thing is people are getting sick and tired of this. I am hearing it everywhere across the internet, everywhere that I go. You know, this whole protest, stopping the government, you know, we all of us working people, blue collar people, are getting sick of this. And at some point, it's all going to have to come to a head and stop. Now, I will ask you this question, Bill. What do you think will happen to Mr. Don Lemon? Just a fine and a slap on the hand, and he'll be back out there doing something else stupid?
I don't know. Really, I don't know at this point. I don't know if they're going to make an example out of it, or if you like you say, he's going to get a slap on the wrist.
Well, I I would hope that his slap on the wrist hurts his pocket quite a bit. That would be my hope. Do I care if the man goes to jail or not? I don't really care if he does or not, to be honest with you, from my perspective, and here's why. And it's not because he's like a great person and I like him, because that ain't the case. It's just that I'm just tired of the whole thing. I'm just sick of all of it. Like, just stop. Let people do their jobs. Let ICE do their jobs. Let us as American people get back to our normal lives. Tell us about something that we actually need to know about. Uh, we're just sick of hearing about all of this, and I'm fed up with it myself. Like, tell me about what's going on in the foreign countries. Tell me about the hurricane that's coming. Tell me about an earthquake. Tell me about the fault line. Tell me about anything else other than there's another liberal standing in the middle of the highway. I'm sick of it.
Yeah. I, I've been sick of it for a while.
Yeah.
And I, I have a hard time understanding where they get to this point that makes them think they're privileged and get to do these things with no consequences.
Yeah.
I mean, he should have known better.
Well, you know, that's going to bring up what we're about to talk about next. And the thing is, these young people, and this is what I've tried to tell my stepdaughter, is don't let people use you, because these people are being used as cannon fodder. I have said it once, twice, and three times over. They're cannon fodder. They're being thrown out on the front lines just to be shot, beat up, and everything else to be used for an agenda. And I say all that because, Bill, you and I were just talking about the 2030 census. So, folks, if you didn't know, here's the whole thing. I looked at a reel, wasn't a reel, it was more like a podcast. And 2030 will be the new census, right?
Yep.
And it's only by head count, folks. It doesn't matter if they are legal, if you're a legal person of the United States or an illegal person of the United States. When that census comes out, that has to do directly with congressional seats. And the guy showed a map. He said, as it stands right now, by red states alone, if they held an election just off the cuff, red states alone hold 240 electoral votes. Period. That's Republican votes. So all of these illegals that are in Minnesota and these different places were congressional seats for the Democrats. So Trump's getting rid of all of them. And if he gets rid of enough of them, folks, 2030 will mean there will be some congressional Democratic seats that won't be existing.
Yep. And okay. And that's the way it should be. I mean, okay. If you just run down to Mexico and grab
Juan Valdez.
200,000 people and you brought them up and dropped them in California,
Mm-hmm.
you just gave California 2 more seats.
Yes.
They're not citizens. They can't vote.
Nope.
They should have no bearing on congressional seats whatsoever. So, what's the solution? Get rid of them.
Yep.
Get them out of the country.
And
or just don't count them.
and of course, the thing is, folks, our government, we voted for this. This is what I voted for. This is what Bill
Me too.
voted for. We voted to get these illegals out, not because they were padding the Democrats. This was before I even really thought about that part of it. But the whole, I'll just say, raping, pillaging, and using our system. I mean, there's not over $9 billion, close to $20 billion gone out of Minnesota, and I don't feel like I need to pay any taxes. You all just let $20 billion go to Somalia of our tax dollars.
And it's been carried out in 2 cases.
I don't think anybody needs to pay taxes this year, to be honest with you. Not until they find that money. But like I was saying, though, this is what we voted for. We want the country back on track. We want lower taxes. We want lower gas prices. We want lower prices, food at the grocery store. And we actually want our children educated. It's not that hard. This is all the stuff that we want and we vote for. And Trump's trying to do it. And these Democrats, let's face it, the only thing they are thinking about is them staying in power and having control. They don't care about you. They don't care about your taxes. They don't care about the gas prices. They don't care about the food at the store. They don't care about your kids. All they want to do is keep that control.
Let's
Call me a liar.
Look back here for just a second and just realize all this corruption coming out of Minnesota under Tim Walz. Right?
Yeah.
Which they're describing him now as a more feminine version of Hillary Clinton. But anyway,
on that note,
he almost could have been vice president of the United States. Now we're finding all this fraud that he's knee deep in it. I mean, okay, here's maybe 2 different looks on this. Number one, he knew about it. which means he's corrupt.
Hmm.
Number two, he didn't know about it, and it's so widespread that he's just inept. So there's no middle ground there, you know.
Oh,
He
I
either
know.
he either knew about it and is corrupt, or he didn't know about it and he's just inept.
That's a polite way of putting it. I just say he's an idiot.
Yeah. But yeah, that's you see what I'm saying here.
Yes. Ah, well, if I remember correctly, Trump told us that there was a lot to come out, and there's still more to come. And oh boy, I can't wait to see what else is coming.
Ooh, here's another one for you. I know you sent me the what was it, the Hoax Academy Awards.
Oh, yeah.
What do you make about that?
Well,
Does
I
that
think she,
does that top uh what's his name with the nooses?
Jesse
Yeah,
Smollett.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Does that top him
I don't
or
think it tops him. I think she tried to went and get some pointers. She went and talked to him and figured out what he did wrong, and then tried to put her own twist on it. Did you know there's a photo of her with that guy?
yep, I saw it. Democrats, of course, is trying to say it's Photoshop, but
Oh, of course it is.
it was actually on one of their supporters' pages where they got it. So you tell me.
Oh, oh, geez, I swear. Well, that was a big debacle because everybody else has said too. If you look at her reaction that she had to being sprayed, it's like that's not a normal person's reaction. A normal person would, kind of do like that about being sprayed with something. But her reaction was trying
Yeah,
to be boss lady, I guess.
here's one for you. Speaking of Tom Holman,
Mm-hmm.
he just made a speech up there in Minnesota. You know, they're talking about you're supposed to be here arresting the criminals and blah 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 blah. You know, and that's what they've been protesting. These guys are not criminals. Blah 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 blah.
Okay.
Tom Holman just told Democrats in Minnesota and illegal aliens everywhere, if you're in the country illegally, you are not off the table. We will find you and we will deport you. No loopholes, no special treatment, and no hiding behind activists. Told you they didn't know what they were in for.
I know it. Oh, geez. Well, and then too, if you noticed, I saw the light before we sat down. I saw a headline that said that Tim Walz is now wanting to work with ICE and different things to make sure everything is done peacefully. And I'm thinking, is it because you're looking at going to prison for losing $20 billion? Is that the reason why you want to make things work now all of a sudden?
Okay, here's some updates on some Omar stuff.
Oh, geez.
It says the rats are scattering. Most of them are begging reporters to hear their stories. Whistleblowers are now confirming her campaign funneled a massive amount of money to her husband's firm, while Somali linked networks in Minneapolis ran one of the biggest COVID relief fund schemes in the history of hundreds of millions stolen. She knew, she benefited, she covered for it.
They all do. There's no way you can't tell me that they all did.
Well,
They all.
there's no way you can be a poor Somali refugee one day and worth $1 gazillion the next day. You know, I
Um,
mean, not legally.
No, not legally. That's what kills me is just how corrupt these politicians are. And there's some other stuff going on where people are actually trying to do right. And I'll throw this out there. You all probably seen this too. I mean, DeSantis has basically come out and he has working for a healthier Florida, and he's had his health department in Florida put out basically call out, I think it was Skittles, Reese cups, and different candies for kids have found to have carcinogens in them that are linked to cancer. So
Yep.
there are these politicians, DeSantis is one of them, as we know, who are actually trying to help this country, and the rest of them are just trying to make money. And the corruption is just unreal. It blows my mind. Oh, did you see what happened in Virginia?
Hmm.
I don't know if I sent it to you, but I saw this one. They had that election over there and they elected that Democratic woman. Their electric bill went up 200%.
Okay.
Don't move to Virginia. That's all I got to say. Holy crap. And that was before the storm hit.
What about before the storm, after the storm, during the storm? What about just a minute.
Yeah.
I go ahead with something. Let me finish up on get this in. Go ahead.
Well, while Bill's finding that out, let me just throw this out there to you all too, because there are other things that have been going on. It is official. China will be kicked out of the Panama Canal. As you all know, our great Democratic leadership let the Panama Canal go, which was probably one of the biggest mistakes ever. And then, of course, China moved in to start controlling the Panama Canal. But as it stands now, and I'm going to pull up the article, huge win for President Trump and America as Panama boots Chinese from the Panama Canal. Panama's Supreme Court ruled China firm CK Hutchinson's contract to operate both ends of the canal is unconstitutional. China is out. And that is what we need. We need back control of the Panama Canal. It was dumb to give it up. It was stupid. It was the biggest thing ever. And Trump got it back. And I'm happy for that.
Okay. Where I was going here
was
the raid they just conducted in Georgia.
Oh.
The FBI raid on the voting precinct or whatever you want to call it in Fulton County there. 1.5 million fraudulent votes in Georgia.
Really?
Yes. They mailed out 205,000 ballots, but they processed 600,000.
That's not an obvious.
They only mailed out 250,000, 200, and they've already shown there was over 2,600 convicted felons voted, which are not allowed to vote in Georgia. Let's see. Here's just some of the stuff they've got.
Oh, jeez.
It was only 82,000 votes was the difference in Georgia.
Yeah.
Right? They had 205,000 more votes than they have people in Georgia that are registered to vote. 205,000.
Well, that don't take a math genius to figure that one out.
So Donald just put out on True Social, he says, he says, all those posts about the 2020 election being rigged, well, I guess they were right. Now, everybody's like, he's just doing this because he's mad because he lost the election. No, he's securing the election. So from now on, we don't have any cheating. We have fair elections.
Yes.
Democrats know they can't win a fair election. They just
No.
can't do it. American people's
Nope.
not going to vote for them.
Well, it's just like I said earlier. As it stands right now, the Republicans, by the Electoral College votes in red states, 240 electoral votes off the bat. Off the bat. And if they come out, if we get rid of all these illegals and do the 2030 census right, I don't know. Democrats losing congressional seats, yes, I believe that's going to happen. But the guy I watched, he might be a little out there, but he actually thought that California could turn red. And I'm like, I don't know, that's a stretch, but
Who knows?
who knows? Who knows?
Well, what about RFK coming out today? What do you think about what he had to say? Did you see it?
Nah, I missed it.
He seems to think this whole winter storm we just went through was created.
No.
Not by
Say it ain't.
God, not by God and nature, but by man.
Say it ain't so. You mean to tell me all those jet streams that we saw in the air before the storm hit?
You know, people
My,
go out, they told people go out and take pictures and see if you've seen that. And God, there were millions of them came in.
I know. I was looking up in the sky myself and I thought, like, yep, there's coming across the sky here.
Yep.
Hmm. But Carl thinks that the government can't control the weather. That's one thing he doesn't believe. Let me throw this out there real quick, Bill. We're about 33 minutes. Greenland, looks like Trump is going to succeed with his deal getting Greenland.
And
Edmonton,
not pay a
Alberta,
dime for it.
and not pay a dime for it. I'm going to be curious to see what happens with Edmonton, Alberta, to see if they want to become a 51st state, which will be interesting. So I want to throw those two things out. And the way Trump did it, without paying for Greenland for a thing, I'm telling you, the man's a genius. He literally told them that he was going to take it if they didn't agree to it. And he was also going to pull away.
He agreed to pay him, tried to buy it first.
Yeah.
Offered him, I forget how many billions of dollars for it.
Yeah.
Then they were like, no, it ain't for sale. It ain't for sale. He's like, then I'll take it.
Yeah.
That's now. Continue.
And of course, he said, I'll take it. But then he also said that, I'm also going to pull funding to the to NATO. Like, and then they're like, well, wait a minute. Like, we'll let you have bases on there, but you can't pull. We don't want you to pull the funding. And he said, well, okay, every base then will be a U.S. base without any NATO involvement whatsoever. So he still got what he wanted.
And he got the mineral rights.
Yeah.
for the, what more? And he didn't have to pay a dime.
I love that man. And like I said, I will be interested to see what happens with Alberta. I think their vote comes up, is it this summer or something like that? Is when their vote comes up. And that's something else. Of course, Trump's wanting to have the Golden Dome. That includes Canada. He's already said, I literally watched a press conference. He said, we're going to have the Golden Dome. It's going to extend over America. And he said, and we're going to take care of Canada. We take care of them anyway. We're going to bring them in. They'll have a Golden Dome as well. He's being nice about it, but at the same time, he's kind of like, we're taking care of all of your crap. Don't give us any crap. No. But that's about all I got right now. We're about 36 minutes, Bill.
All right, one thing I was reading there a while ago. California passed a law that ICE and law enforcement officers cannot cover their faces.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I guess there's getting ready to be a revolt in LA because LAPD come out and says we ain't enforcing that. So we'll see how that goes.
Go LAPD.
We'll see how that goes.
Any last words, Bill?
Stay warm.
I agree to that.
It's like 9 degrees right now.
Yeah, folks, stay warm, stay safe, and don't hesitate to call 911 for help if you need anything.
Check on your neighbors.
Check on your neighbors. Any downed trees and everything, call them in as quick as you can. I know the crews are out. There are tons of trucks in the county right now. So stay safe, stay warm, get to the grocery store, get what you need. And that's about it. Thank you for joining us as always. Make sure you check us out on bluecollarminutemen.com. Check out these videos on YouTube, BitChute, and Rumble. We lost YouTube. And make sure you check us out on Instagram, Getter, True Social, and some other social media sites that we're on. And like I said, make sure you like and subscribe to these videos and share these videos, help get the message out there. Because like I said, we're just trying to bring another perspective from our point of view and give you something to think about. So with that being said, thank you all. God bless you all. God bless America. Stay safe, stay warm, and we'll see you next time.
See you next time. Also, Cats won tonight.
Yes, that deserves a little.
See ya.